Hey guys, what's up? It's Emery. Yeah, it's March 22nd, about 10:30 in the morning, and I've been making videos. Like, I made a video on my mom's Kindle device, this, like, basically an iPad, but then I couldn't get it. I just want to get back into YouTube the way it was and throw myself into it, because I'm starting school really soon, and YouTube is changing a lot. If you're subscribed to Onision, his most recent video is actually really scary to watch, but I've never been on YouTube for the views. Well, that's not true. Towards the end, the reason I stopped going on YouTube is because, well, I thought I was being honest. The thing is I wasn't. I haven't been honest in so long. From the moment I got into a relationship with my last girlfriend, I said anything and everything I thought that she wanted to hear. I bought clothes that I thought she wanted me to wear. I said yes to the job that she wanted to have me doing, which was fucking miserable. I lied and 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 lied, and it got me to a place where I didn't know who I was anymore. And I was also depressed during that time. And it made for a kid, and I didn't know why. I didn't realize that I'd been lying. I thought that I was compromising, and I gave all of my power away by doing that, and I felt so small and so just like less than, which gave my ex all of the power in the world. I mean, I basically died, and she's dead to me, you know. She told me to act as though she's dead, and it's hard to do that when there's actual death going on. Like, you know, she said that, and then like a month later my dad died. All of this stuff came up. I've been through a lot, starting from the time I was 12 until I was 23, I think. I went through multiple, you know what, anybody in my family, please stop watching right now. Okay, multiple counts of rape, multiple instances of homelessness, a lot of trust in the wrong people, a lot of women, a lot of boys, a lot of writing that I think saved my life. I was able to just sit down and scribble out rhymes and keep my vocabulary big, and it made me feel worth something. It still makes me feel like I'm worth something, that I can write about it and help people with the bullshit I've been through. That's the reason I'm alive, and I know it. Okay, so we can address these little things. I talked about it on Instagram yesterday, but I got an EKG, they checked my heart, and they took my blood. I took the Band-Aid off, which was painful. I don't know, it rained yesterday, so it's kind of hard to get a good spot. Anyway, the point of this video is that I've been waiting for the right time to get back on YouTube. I've been waiting to be at the right weight, to have the right camera, to have the right sponsorships, to not be smoking, to be 100% vegan. I wanted to be at the top of my game before I started back on YouTube. But the whole thing about me being on YouTube is honesty, and honestly, I don't want any of that shit. I don't want to be vegan. I don't give a fuck about being vegan. I like being vegetarian. I don't like thinking about hurting animals while I'm eating. I don't like to eat pig or cow or chicken, but sometimes I do because that's my family cooking. And I know that a lot of people are gonna disagree with that, but a lot of people are gonna fucking relate to that, because a lot of people just eat what their mother hands them, especially when they're sick and home. And I've been sick and home for a while now. I've been sick for a long time with depression and PTSD, and I haven't had a therapist to help me through all of this PTSD. And when I got into a relationship last time, it was the worst possible thing I could have done. The worst possible thing I could have done. Instead of like making out on that beach the night that we got together, I should have just talked to her as a friend and probably still left my girlfriend and gotten directly into therapy, directly, you know, like all this stuff I coulda, woulda, shoulda done. I see it, of course. Hindsight is 20/20. I know, you know, they say life can only be understood backwards, but it has to be lived forward. I've changed in a lot of ways, and I haven't changed in a lot of ways. I've shed a lot of toxicity and toxic people. I have realized how delusional I was for the last 3 years. I was so depressed and so just sad that I really thought that people who were my friends before were still my friends, because they didn't tell me otherwise, and I didn't have the capacity to like, you know, like look into it and ask them. And even when I did ask them, they lied to me. But my best friend, I thought, my best friend ended up telling me, as soon as I got out of the relationship and my dad died, I went to talk to him, and he was like, we haven't been friends since you moved out of the apartment. Now, if you know me, I moved out of the apartment with that kid 5 years ago, before Hungary. I came back from Hungary, moved to the Bay, and then took that chick I was with to that guy and his girlfriend, introduced them, and now they're all like friends, and her boyfriend and them are all just friends. I mean, I really want to say more, but I'm not going to. Things that have been said about me, like, nobody fucking knows me, especially not those people. And it feels so shitty to have a handful of people that you thought were family have the common, you know, whatever, what the fuck, I'm gonna think of it as soon as I'm editing this video, but their main common thing is fucking hating me. And like how weak I am, and like their power over me because I actually cared about them so much. Like, it's sick. It's really sick. And I'll never put myself in that position again. I'll never date somebody without getting to know them first. You know, it's not like I haven't had the opportunity to date people or hook up with people, but I haven't done any of that. I haven't dated anyone. I haven't hooked up with anyone. I've talked to one girl who ended up being a liar and sent her some pictures, which ended up being really stupid, but hey, that's how we learn things, right? Anyway, so I guess just, this is me. I'm back. I'm going to be 100% honest like I always have. Anybody that I talk about, anything that I talk about, I've been told that it's okay. So, you know, you can say you shouldn't talk about them like that, but they don't give a fuck. They really, I mean, they're not going to watch this video. They don't give a fuck about me, and they're 100% sure that this video is not going anywhere, right? Nobody's going to judge them based on this video, and even if they do, who gives a fuck? It's the internet, and they're off in nature, tra-la-la. Right? Anyway. So what is up with Emery? I am going to the Cali Institute of Massage and Somatic Therapies. Hold on, my friend's talking to me. She mind fucks you to gain control. You were in her grasp before you even kissed her. You were hooked from the time you came to Ireland. She just needed time to wear you down. I wish I could go back to that moment and spit in her face. She knew exactly what she was doing. It's true. It's true, except for the part about me being in her grasp since I moved to Ireland. I told Danny that I had feelings for her from the first second I saw her, but that was a lie. I thought she was boring and plain and, you know, obviously like, say, unhealthy. You know how you can tell when someone just like needs that attention? And I I thought that we would have an equal relationship. I thought that, like, especially because I was sick, that there would be, that we would get through that part and get back to being on level ground. But to her, we were never on level ground. It was always a guy that she could use for a while until she figured out what she was doing. And she knew that. Like, she cried the first night we hooked up saying, I'm losing my friend and I know this isn't going to work out. Are you sure you want to do this? And I was like, yeah. Like, I thought I had the strength. And I did for a while. It wasn't until my depression started taking hold of me that I really started seeing who she was. And the reason I'm talking about this is because I think it's really, really, really common for someone who's hurting, for someone who has trauma, to just go around with the same pattern, hurting different people in the same way. And yeah, today's the day that I found out that she's in another relationship. I don't know if she's like engaged or whatever, but she's with someone. And I broke into a cold sweat when I heard. And it really just kind of pushed me to fucking get it all out like this. Because all of my therapists have told me to just put it on YouTube. Put it on your channel. That's what it's for. Talk about it. And I couldn't bring myself to do it because I thought it would hurt her. When in reality, so many things I wanted to do, I didn't do because I thought they would hurt her. When in reality, nothing I did ever hurt her. Nothing I did ever made a difference to her. You know, I have this letter that says, I had it, that says, I love you, Emery Quincy, I really do. And you know what, sure, I fucking love this wall too, because it's a part of my house. Wall, I love you, I really, really fucking do. If you were to fall down, I would try to pick you back up again. Same fucking thing. I thought that she saw us as equal the same way that I did. I thought that we were going to be really good friends no matter what. But what happened was I got really fucking sick with depression, and my dad had cancer, which put more on that. She wanted me to be working, so we started a business at home, which was supposed to fucking fix everything. Meanwhile, I'm getting sicker and sicker. I don't know how long she was planning on breaking up with me before she did it. She called my sister 2 weeks before she broke up with me, but she was already planning on moving out of the state. It's just so, it says so much about the relationship, the way that someone breaks up with you. Because she did not see me as equal. And I don't know if she ever did. And it sucks because I started out feeling the same way about her. I didn't see her as equal. I saw her as less than me. I saw her as someone that would be easy to date and it wouldn't hurt when we broke up. But it got so manipulated to, it's like I can't explain it because it's just something that happens. I thought I was in love, but I was just desperate to get myself back from her because I felt like I gave it to her. But she didn't give a fuck. She never took anything in. And she blatantly would say it. She didn't remember anything. She'd just block it out. She'd just dissociate. And I just kept thinking, you know, we're going to get a good therapist and she's going to dive deep and she's going to deal with that shit and she's going to like when I'm romantic. Like, she would say that I'm never romantic, but then if I tried to get romantic, it was me trying to get in her pants. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. When she broke up with me, she said, just pretend like I'm dead. You know? I said that, so now we're back around. Just pretend like I'm dead. And then maybe we'll be able to be friends in the future. But what she did was move out of the house we were in together, sell the house, move out of state, and is best friends with that fucking guy that I was just talking about, who said that we hadn't been friends for 5 years. Meanwhile, we're talking back and forth on Facebook. He has me listed as his brother on Facebook. Facebook fucked me up with this relationship. Because when we broke up, I was listed as this guy's brother, which means fucking nothing, just so you know. Don't start listing people as your family on Facebook. It never ends well. And there was this picture of me at her house, our house, like on the porch, like about to fly away, right? And it had this blurb from her, like, I'm just glad to be a part of your life, no matter what that is. And it was all just bullshit. It was all just to keep me, you know, here instead of this fucked up mess that I was, because she couldn't deal with it because she hasn't dealt with her own shit. And now she's found someone where she doesn't have to. That's my interpretation. This is my channel. You know, you can say he's saying all this because he's hurt, he's saying all this for attention, whatever. I'm saying this because it's my truth. And I have to say it. I have to let go of it, because it's just like life's not fucking fair, right? Like, that's, since the breakup, I've gone through some different healing ceremonies, and the healing ceremony I went through last time, the fucking bark bellow that came out of me was just, it's not fucking fair. Like, it's not fair that some people are millionaires, and it's not fair that some people don't have to feel their feelings just because they turn them off like that. It's not fair that some people don't have insomnia because they can just go to sleep like that. It's not fair that some people have all the control and some people are me. Some people, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it for the world. I'm gonna make my own money, you know, and it's not gonna take very long. I'm gonna have the car and the house and the girl and all that, but I have to start at my fucking, like, basic, honest point, which is that I'm, what's the word? What's the word for it? It's like these people that are given money and the skills to turn their shit off are a seed, like a fake digital seed that just grows in whatever direction it wants and changes into whatever flower it wants to, and closes at night so that fucking bad bugs don't get in, and opens in the morning when everything looks beautiful and dewdrops. And I'm this seed that has grown in all these different directions, and some of my shit is wrapped around others that needs to be, like, cut, literally, whether it kills that part of me or not. And I have to reach for the sun. I have to hide underneath other things so that I don't die, because I can't turn off my feelings like that. The only way I can turn off my feelings like that is by using heroin, and it's not an option. I'm just really grateful to have this outlet. I'm not really sure what the outcome's gonna be, but I know that it's change. I'm grateful to have my ex as a friend, not Danny, but Jess. I'm really grateful to have Jess as a friend again, because she's fucking smart and she knows me, and she watched me do all these stupid, crazy things. And I've been able to apologize and make amends, and that's an incredible thing. I don't think that will ever happen with Danny. I thought it would when we broke up. You know, when we broke up, she kissed me goodbye and said it won't be the last time. But it's just like placating. Is that the right word? Placate. John did his best to placate her. She just did it to, like, hold me over so that she didn't have to deal with any more of my emotions, because that's not the job of a significant other, to deal with their significant other's emotions, you know? But I didn't have the force behind me. What's it called? It's not inspiration, just I didn't have something or someone to lift me up and put me in the place I needed to be, which was a psychiatrist, a psychologist, a therapist, and all this stuff that could have been paid for easily if I had the money, but I didn't. And I got so many messages of like, get off your ass and go to work. And I tried. I really fucking tried. But what ended up happening the day before she said we need to talk and broke up with me was I just fucking passed out. I just woke up on the floor and called her and she wouldn't answer. So I knew I'd lost her as a friend. She wouldn't answer any of my calls anymore. And people were telling me what she was saying about me. I could just feel the fakeness oozing out of every pore of the house. And it was just making me sicker and sicker. And of course, it was making her sicker and sicker, which you can blame me for, or fucking... It was a fucking mess. Like, I thought I had been through the worst kind of relationship when I was in high school, because I, like, almost killed myself over this chick, but that wasn't, like, the relationship with Danny wasn't love, and I thought it was, and that's the sickest, saddest part. I think that's what made me the most sick and sad while I was there, was I was like, this is it, this is love, this is what love feels like I have to take care of myself 100% when it comes to this stuff. Like, even the therapist said to me, you know, Emery, you're gonna have to cry alone sometimes, and I have neglect issues from when I was a child. I've cried alone. Like, it was so manipulated to be her world. And I'll never, ever, ever fucking let that happen again. Like, I didn't have my own world because I had just moved from Hungary to Ventura, and within the next 2 weeks, I was with Danny. And she wanted to move me up to her house because she liked my energy. And I thought it was going to be fun. To me, the PTSD, the stress, the, you know, depression, anxiety, all this stuff is not that big of a deal. Like, for me to say I don't feel like living right now is not that big of a deal to me, because it happens so often and I know it's gonna pass. But in that relationship, it became the entire relationship, which is why when she broke up with me, I was so shocked. I thought we were gonna get through it and have more fun. But I put myself in the position to be seen as something as opposed to someone. I was just this sick, balding mess of a human being. Like, when we moved in together, we were both messy, but by the end of the relationship, she was cleaning her side of the room, I feel like, to make herself feel better than me again, and to make herself feel better in general. But I could not. I still have a hard time keeping things in order, and it's because I'm ADHD and all these other shits on top of it. I have to have help, and that's my computer, thank God, and my watch, and my iPhone, and all this stuff that I have now, and using it the way that I could have been using it then, but I couldn't have because I didn't know anything. I was a stupid, dumb kid. And I mean, you can only feel where you are. Like, in the moment, I was over and over and over again putting her potential as my, you know, rose-colored glasses. I didn't see her, I saw her potential. And I've done that with almost everyone I've dated. And I think a lot of people do that. So, now, where am I at now? Half an hour in. I just fired my therapist a couple weeks ago because he was a year younger than me. He was coming in stoned and talking a lot more than me, and he told me that I could contact him if I needed to, like, you know, outside of therapy. And it was like 7 o'clock, I was in LA, I was sitting behind a dumpster, and I messaged him and he didn't respond. And I had messaged him 2 days before that, and he didn't respond either. So the next text that I sent that same night was, I don't know why you tell me to text you if you're not going to respond, which pissed him off enough for him to respond and say, I'm not an emergency center, I'm not available 24/7, I urge you to find the closest like homeless shelter or something like that, where I'm in the middle of Park La Brea in Los Angeles, like there's no homeless shelter. And he said, are you okay? And I said, no, but I'm just gonna sleep here tonight. And that was it. And so I never went back to him. So yesterday, I went in and I shaved because I thought I was gonna have more of a physical than I did, but I'm not having that until the 11th of April. And yeah, so I'll talk about that if anybody wants to hear about that. That's the dreaded no-cologist. But yeah, breakup. I don't know why I've been so like afraid to say all that shit. It took so long to make sense of it because it was so manipulated. It was so twisted. It was so like, I'd be like, I don't want to do this if it's not okay with you. And she'd be like, no, it's okay with me. And so I'd do it, but it wasn't. And it was over and over and over. They were things that I wouldn't have done if she wasn't there. You know? I don't know. I was delusional. I was really delusional. And I thought that if I was delusional, somebody would tell me. But it was a lot easier for me to be delusional for everyone else, because there's someone sicker than them that they can talk about with each other and feel good, feel better than. And I know what that's like. You know, I was in high school at one point too. I pulled myself out of the deep, sick, disgusting depression I was in when I got home. And I put myself through yoga classes. I met people. You know, I met instructors. I met people in my yoga class. I started going to a Buddhist Sangha group, which is just, it means friendship, kinship. And there's like 5 to, 30 of us every week at a Unitarian Universalist church, which I'm not a Unitarian, but that's where we hold our things, and we do walking meditation and group talks, and it's kind of like a meeting, you know. I have been to a few meetings, but I get dogged by people that know that I have my cannabis card, and then it's like, it used to be my safe space, so I don't like going to a place that used to be my safe space where I'm getting dogged. And also, it's kind of hard to be in the room that's like my main room that I used to go to, my main meeting, because the 2 people that were always there have since committed suicide. And they were the people I could relate to the most. So it's hard to just sit there and listen to other people talk and just think about Mark and Megan. Like, that's difficult. But I pulled myself out of the shits. I've been talking to my sister for a long time about this school, and I have really been putting forth the effort to do it. I didn't have the effort in me to do it. I was so just broken down, and I let myself get to that place. I guess some part of me thought that if I break completely, like, I'll hit a bottom and I'll all of a sudden bloom into this like amazing thing that people will understand, and my relationship will be fixed because I got to the bottom of something. But diving deep is not something that anyone but me wants to do, it seems like, and the people that I can reach by making videos like this, and like Teal Swan and Ralph Smart, which the people that I relate to now on YouTube, if I go back and talk to the people that I was friends with, they think I'm fucking crazy. They think that I think I'm an alien because I talk about indigo things. It's all a theory, and it's just like, it's like, would you laugh at someone because they said they were a Christian? Like, because they think that Jesus came back? Most of the Christians I know, I'm not gonna say, I know Christians that don't actually believe that Jesus came back. They believe that the Bible is like a storybook, but that Christianity is a good religion that brings people together. And to me, it's kind of the same thing. Like, nobody understands spirit. or great spirit or their own spirit. It's just coming together with a common desire to be the most authentic they can. And you can't be your most authentic unless you get through the shit that you're ignoring. A lot of people are ignoring shit in their past. Yeah, and I'm still angry. I'm pretty angry. And I meditate on it a lot. I acknowledge it, but I'm angry with myself. Even though I know that it's really hard for me to say that I did my best in that situation, because I thought that if I left and got my shit together, that I was gonna lose my best friend. When in reality, I didn't have a best friend. And it's really hard for me to give up on the theory that I could have, should have, would have left way sooner if I knew how it was going to end. Because, like I was saying, I thought that it would end equally, because we had an agreement that if either of us felt like it was getting to a point where it was too much and we wanted to like give up, that we would tell the other one. And I said that when she broke up with me. I was like, you told me that you were gonna tell me if you felt like giving up. And she's like, I'm not giving up. Which is just placating. And how much was I placated, you know? Like, just played. And everybody knew it. Everybody knew it with me going into it, and everybody saw me coming out of it, and nobody felt sorry for me. I couldn't even feel sorry for myself. Like, from the moment we got together, people are like, you're doing that? Are you sure? But that's what happened. Now it's over. Let's relate and dive deep. Yeah. I love you, whoever you are. If you relate to this video, if you just like the video. I don't know what that does. It doesn't get it into the recommended spot anymore, because YouTube's going through this weird thing where it like blacklists certain things. Like if I've said a swear word in here, which I probably have, or, I mean, I could have said a lot more. There's a lot more I want to say, but it's just too far. But anyway, I'm prepared for the dislikes. I'm also more prepared for the people that are going to come to my Tumblr ask box and relate, because I make new friends every time I'm honest. That's the name of the game. If you're hurt by this video, you shouldn't have watched it. If you're happy about this video, then yeah, message me, subscribe. Tell me what we should talk about next. Tell me what part of this video we should really get into. Or if you want to talk about something else that you think I could relate to, go ahead and leave a comment. This channel is not always going to be photo booth videos, but sometimes it is. Sometimes it'll be iPhone videos, sometimes it'll be iPad videos, or whatever that thing is, and sometimes I'll use my real camera, but right now the battery's dead and I wanted to do this now. And I have to edit a part out because I think I said a little too much. But anyway, I love you, and stay true, stay real, don't let anybody manipulate you. If it feels off, it's probably off. As painful as that is, and you probably won't stop just because it feels off, but you know, I can't sit here and say I didn't know the whole fucking time. The feeling of inadequacy that I got in that family house, the feeling of detachment sitting next to her, the feeling of just, I mean, it doesn't feel humane to me. And these are kind of the last arguments that we had, where like I would look her in the eye and say, you really can't relate, you really can't have compassion. Like, my dad's dying, like, I don't even need to say anything more than that, even though there is, like, this PTSD shit that was coming up, like, just could not, or would not, is what it felt like, take that shield down just a little bit to be able to relate and help me get through it. I felt like I really needed my significant other to tell me it was okay, and all they could tell me was, how to fix it, which was like going to work or going to work. That's that. And like I said, I love you. Leave a request. Leave a name to call me like asshole. There goes my promotion. Boy.